All right, we're back. Oh, I gotta record audio. That's the thing we do here. Okay, I think we're sufficiently back now. Oh, and I should roll.
Oh,
hold on. These are initiative rolls?
Yes, I need your initiative roll, please.
Okay. Ooh, 15. Excellent. He says with some irony.
It's pretty solid.
15 for Nash. And
compared to these sweet 22s or whatever you guys are rolling.
12, 4. All right, have we started recording?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, so you hear over the walkie-talkie Monsoon Cabbage relay one final command. Pod. Order sorry. Pod. Execute Order 26. And then you hear a voice next to you, Nash, go, oh no, what's happening? What's happening? And you feel like the sort of rapid shaking, as if though she's having a seizure on your shoulder.
Okay.
All right. And with that, combat has begun. We rolled initiative rolls prior to resuming. Buttons is up first to act, and he disappears.
Great.
He says a few magic words, and bloop, disappears from vision.
He's such a coward.
Okay. Diantalis, it's your turn.
Now, have we entered a new state, or are they still, if I move, I'm going to get shot by everybody?
Well, it's turn order. They are ready to, they're not readied up. We're starting combat at this point.
Okay. In that case, I am going to, yeah, let's get to a better position here. Diantalis is going to smile now that combat has begun and he can do his thing. And I'm going to walk straight up to the guard. Well, I guess it would be a run in combat view, but run to the guard straight in front of me and go with the original plan and cast Thunderstep.
Okay.
And that means that anyone within 10 feet of me is going to need to make a Constitution saving throw of 16. So I believe that will hit the guy below me, the three guys directly around, or the four guys directly in front of me. So I think it'll be 5 people.
So you run, you teleport yourself to an unoccupied space you can see within range. After you disappear, a thunderous boom sounds. Each creature within 10 feet of the space you left must make a Constitution saving throw. Take 3d10 or half on the other. Okay, perfect. All right, so you run up to them and you disappear. And as you disappear, the wind and air around you snap. Boom! And so everything within a 10-foot radius, it's within 10 feet. Let me draw here. So,
Oh, nice.
hang on. I just need to know how many we're hitting so I can see. Let's get a. So we're sorry. You disappeared.
I teleported. I teleported down.
Sorry, where were you originally?
Oh, I was right here. So I think it would hit the four in the line in front of me, and then the guy to the south of me.
It is within 10 feet of the space you left. Within 10 feet. All right, so that I think is like this.
Yep.
You see that? Okay,
Yep.
perfect. So that's 5 saving throws. All right. Saving throw 16. Okay, just be a second while I make those rolls. What is Constitution, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 3 of them save. So they'll take half damage, right, on your 3d10?
Yep.
Perfect.
So let me roll that, see what we did here. 24 points of damage.
Okay. All right, so you let out a thunderous force that ripples the air around you. Does it move them at all, or is it just thunder damage?
And let me double check. I think it just does thunder damage.
Okay, so I'm marking damage on them. Let's see here.
Yeah, just the damage.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so you let out the thunderous force. It explodes around you, and immediately two of the guys holding guns just. It looks like their bodies ripple and their bones break, and you hear crack ears like as two of the bodies like just their arms go in directions they're not supposed to. Their legs bend in different ways, and they fly back and hit the ground, dead immediately. The other ones are able to resist having any broken bones, but you can see they're clearly in pain as two of them fall to the ground and three of them are left there from your teleport.
Awesome. Now I've reappeared and I can see a new gentleman. Who is this fellow?
You've never seen him before. You see a guy in a long trench coat. He's got it's sort of closed up. He's got a cap over him, and he's also has cowboy boots on, and he's a black man, and he's standing there hugging against the side of the wall. Okay.
All of our
Alright.
favorites.
Yeah.
It's like greatest hits.
Who is
Yeah.
this gentleman?
Teat version. Is his last name Washington or something?
Varel, have they met this character?
No.
I was
Dashington
there when Varel
twice,
met
right?
him. I was at the bar when Varel met him.
Well, that's
Washington.
true.
Yeah. Then that's the person you see.
Yeah, Dashington twice.
But I don't know his allegiance or anything. Regardless,
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and let's see, I moved 10 of my feet to get back here.
Okay.
So I will go ahead and move again to take cover behind this cask now that I've kind of realized I'm flanked by an enemy over there. And I will, as a bonus action, send out diplomacy to attack that guy right there.
Okay. So you send out your sword to go swing. Make your attack roll. Floats into the air.
It's not very good. Let's see. That's going to be a 12 to hit.
Okay. 12 to hit is a hit.
Oh, nice. And so that will be... 6 damage to him.
Okay, perfect. He takes 6 damage as the sword cuts him and from behind, and he doesn't realize that it's happening. So he just looks back and goes, "Ah!"
All
As
right.
it slices at his shins.
That is my turn.
Perfect. All right. So you hear a voice behind on your shoulder, Varel. You hear, "What? He looks at you. What Bak do?" You can take an opportunity to utter a few words to him if you choose, Varel.
So I have... Am I in my rage yet, or is that an action coming up?
That'll be on your turn.
Okay. I'll bark quickly to him. Uncork the barrels.
Bak looks confused. Cork barrels! And then he jumps off your shoulder, and he moves to one of the barrels, and he begins kicking at the... Because they're piled up several high on the map. You might just see one, but you see several.
Oh, they're
barrels
not
on the
giant
shelves.
ones?
They're giant ones, but there's like two. Maybe they're stacked too high, like the number 2, like high. So he takes one that's accessible to him from his height, and he begins trying to kick off the what is it? The tap?
Yeah,
tap
the
that's on,
stopper,
right?
whatever that thing is.
Yeah. All right, and he just throws his body into it, like a big Liu Kang kick, and he's just like, he's like, and he's paff, and he kicks one off, and then mead begins flowing out from underneath him, filling the floor with mead. And that's his turn. Now you see Joel take 2 steps forward, and she puts her hand on either side, holding her guns. And she just stands there waiting. She appears to have readied an action. Nash, it is your turn.
All right. I am going to cast Firebolt. Ball. Excuse me. Ball.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm going to aim it to where I can get as many of these idiots as possible. They all must take... So I'm aiming for right about here. Pretty sure that... Let's see, how much distance is this? Hold on a second, sorry.
It's got a pretty long range.
There it is, 20. This is the 20 foot. So this red box is it.
It's a 20-foot square that you can shoot the fireball into.
Yep. So I'm going to do that. Here's what happens at this level. 20-foot radius centered at the point. Let's see. They all have to make a dexterity saving throw, anybody within that 20 by 20. If they fail, they each take, let's see, on normal it's 8d6. I plus add 1 above third, so that's, hold on a second, 9, 10, 11. 11d6 damage if they fail their saves.
11d6 now?
Yeah, because it says here, higher levels, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of 4th or higher level, the damage increases by 1d6 for each slot above third. Oh, no, I'm an idiot. Sorry. It's still...
You don't...
No, I know. I'm not. I'm thinking levels like 3 levels extra. Forget it. Forget I said anything.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm casting it at 3rd level.
88. Okay.
Yeah.
So 20 is a 20-foot square, right?
Correct. That red square that you have right there is exactly where I'm aiming.
That's a 25 by 25-foot square.
It is.
But when you say you're aiming it for the center of that,
it shows 20 by 20. No.
It's showing you the center of one to the center of the other, which is 20 feet. But it's 5 squares is a 25 by 20 foot. This is a 20-foot radius.
All right. So it should be what?
That's the do you see this graphic I've put down on the ground?
That's it
here?
right there.
So that's 20. That'll be it.
All right. So let's put it right there.
You'll be able to get 4.
4 of them. That's
max
perfect.
In the blast, the way they're lined up.
That's what I want.
So right there, that's what you wanted.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm gonna yell the follow. Oh wait, you got to do your saving throws, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So saving throws. What's the DC, please?
DC is. Oh, sorry, I thought I had it up.
Keeping in mind, 2 of those are corpses that are in there, so you'll be hitting 3.
Wait.
The most you can do is 3. Stanley Thunder.
Oh, he
stepped,
killed him. Yeah.
The ones with the skulls.
Was it just the 3 then? Hold on, let me think. I guess that's the best I can do. That's fine. I was trying for maximum AoE here, and I looked like that's the best I can do. All right, sorry.
And
it's
the DC on the save.
Dex 15.
Dex 15.
Wait, I think that's too small, Bo. For a 20-foot radius?
It's a 20-foot radius, so it's a 4 by 4 square.
Yeah, but it's only 15.
That's a diameter, right?
I might be using the wrong word.
Right now.
Fireball, 20 feet range area, 20-foot radius. Let me just Google radius real quick.
It should be 8 squares tall, it looks like, for 20 feet.
Radius. Okay. Yeah, radius is from the center. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking diameter, so it should actually be...
Holy cow.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
okay.
It's
shift
really
it right there. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Ah.
Okay. Where is it going?
Right. Move it back. So I want to be able to get this dude here.
Up and to the left.
Here, I will give you control of it.
Can I have
1
control?
second.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I will...
Scott's so excited.
I am excited. Look at that
I'm
massive...
gonna move this fire around.
It's freaking Diablo's
Scott,
anus.
You should now have control of the fireball.
I do. All right, so I'm going to do it right here.
All right, that puts 5 of them in there.
Well, let's see. 1, 2, he's dead.
Learn what
3, 4.
radius
Yep,
is
you're right.
there.
5 total.
Oh, that's good.
That's awesome.
Okay. That's
2,
what I want.
3, 4, 5, 7.
God.
All right, can I tell you what I want to say before I cast it? And then I'll roll my dice?
Yes.
Or anybody. Did anybody save?
But you're casting it
I guess
first.
you cast it first. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go. While my fingers they look small, check out this wicked ass fireball.
All right, and you put your hand forth, and a large circle of intense fire just grows out of it, and it starts small and grows into a large circumference ball. And just like in bowling, it hits the pile of guys in front of it, connecting and going. And the room lights up with bright white light as a large circle of fire flows out. 15 dex for the save.
Correct.
All right, they're all failures.
Sweet.
So roll your damage dice.
Here comes
8d6.
8d6. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a grand total of 24 damage.
Okay, so that hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So as the fireball fires out, it hits one of the outlaw deadman gang members square in the chest, and it just explodes. And you just see white light and fire, and you hear screams, "Ah!" and then silence quickly. And as the flame from the fireball vanishes, you see blackened, charred skeletons, 6 of them, and they all just sprinkle down onto the ground into little piles of ash.
Sweet.
Amazing.
Okay.
I will stay put and look very self-satisfied. And I'll blow my finger like a gun, like I'm blowing on the barrel. Like that. Thus endeth my turn.
And also the 2 corpses that were on the ground are also piles of ash as well.
Sweet.
As you clear them out. All right, that's your turn. So as you throw out that fireball, you see Pod as the corpses, sprinkle down and fall into piles of ash. Pod reveals herself, and she's clutching her stub, and she just floats over to the center. She goes, oh, Nash, I don't know what's going on. And then one of her arms just kind of like, and it looks like muscles are just popping out of her shoulder. And then on her back, she turns around and you see large back muscles like, and then her head's like, ah! And in one big motion, muscles burst forth from all directions as she grows in size, and it's like, ah! For all you people who like screaming, there's some screaming for you. Ah! And she grows until her head reaches the ceiling into a giant Hulk version of herself. Oh wait, I'm not going to use that.
Oh my God.
This.
Battletoads.
she grows into a giant Hulk version of herself. And she's like, no! And then she runs for the whole pile, and her fist just swings out. Hope, Varel, and Nash are all standing close, and she just swipes it like she's a cat knocking stuff from off a shelf, trying to punch all 3 of you. I need. She's targeting Nash, so I need Varel and Hope to make dexterity saving throws.
Quick thing, Bob. I assume the mead wasn't flammable because it's just mead.
Is mead flammable?
I don't think so. Mead's all
really.
fruity and stuff, isn't it?
But
No.
it would be liquid on the floor of which a big beast is running on. Would that incur any slippery? Cool.
Yeah.
Would that increase any slippery?
Maybe not on a. So
asked.
the size of the creature is gargantuan, so not on a gargantuan creature. Potentially on someone of like a normal size, but not a large creature. It's not enough water.
Okay.
Liquid. So the creature runs at you. You 2 can make dexterity saving throws to dodge the attack. Nash cannot.
Cool. I got a 23.
I got a 12.
Okay. So Hope, you can move yourself out of the field of harm's way by moving 10. Oh, I think Tedna needs to do this too. Okay. So he failed. Hope, go ahead and move yourself 10 feet.
All right. I've done so.
All right, perfect. Nash, Varel, the attack roll is coming.
Oh boy.
Okay, it is a 1. Congratulations.
Wow.
She'd knock herself out.
Oh my gosh.
She swings forward and stumbles, and you guys manage to dodge out of the way without taking any damage whatsoever. And she stumbles into the hallway and loses her footing and runs into the wall. Boof! Right behind you. She's boo, 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 boo. Ah! I hate Nash! You hear her yell into the wall.
What?
Yep.
I'm your best friend!
Okay, Hope, it is your turn.
All right, cool. Well, seeing that Nash now has someone new to deal with, and she's kind of incapacitated at the moment, there is a dude right in front of me who hasn't taken any damage, correct?
Yes, yeah. He took 6 points of damage from the sword. There's a diplomacy's floating around him, slicing at his calves.
Okay, cool. So what's going to happen is I'll line up my 2 attacks on him, see if I can kill him. So first attack is 20, not natural.
Okay. Hit.
Second attack is a 19.
Is it a natural 19? No, I assume not.
No, sadly.
Because you get crits on those too, right? Okay,
Yeah.
Roll your damage dice. Roll your 2 attacks. You're shooting him with your arm gun.
Yeah, just right in the face. So first one's damage is 13.
Mm-hmm.
And second one is 8.
Okay, you bring your gun up and fire 2 shotgun shots in quick successions. These are buckshots. The bullets both go into your head, and their aim is your aim is true. So one bullet enters in, and the other bullet also enters in the same hole and knocks that bullet farther, and his head just explodes in just a violent and quick font of blood. Just head explodes like a watermelon, and the corpse, headless, drops to its knees and then falls over, dropping its gun.
Nice. So with that done, I'll immediately turn my sights to Jolt, and I'll slowly start walking in her direction.
Okay.
Halfway to her.
And there's a look of interest in her eye as she stands, both hands on either side, with the guns there, ready to draw.
Okay. I walk halfway to her, and then I stand there staring.
All right, so you two are both now staring each other down as the Chaos of Pod continues. Sorry, I just want to get this guy the death. We want to make sure to remember that he is a deadman. He's an actual deadman.
He's a deadman.
Okay, perfect.
Good now.
There aren't any alive to have their turn, as it turns out. Well done, everyone. So Varel is now. Did I forget anybody? No. Varel, it's now your turn.
Hedna do anything of use?
He's on the initiative tracker.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow, lower than 3.
We haven't gotten through a full round yet.
Oh,
This is the first 6 seconds of the entire thing. That moment in the movie where violence is pending and then it just explodes into action. It's the same 6 seconds we're still dealing with. So you've killed 8 men in 6 seconds, and Pod turned into a giant. Varel, it is your turn.
Okay, so these barrels. What I want to do is, you've said they're not giant anymore,
right?
So I wouldn't be able to run over to this big one up top and push it off its thing and roll it at Jolt across.
You
the
could.
hallway.
They're not stacked on top of each other. They're stacked on like shelving. On the walls, but they're large. Like, just picture them as being large. Like, I don't know how many feet, but like 10 feet is even quite large. It's a large barrel.
Multi-barrels on one stand that I could perhaps flip.
No, big barrel, big barrel, one giant barrel, but they're stacked, so there's too high. It's too high.
Okay.
But it would be taller than you, the barrel, like facing us. These large barrels on the wall.
Right.
Let's say 10 feet in diameter.
Okay, it's being that tall with 2 barrels worth of weight. I don't think I assume at a quick glance of knowing my own strength, I probably wouldn't be able to flip this over easily.
It would be a difficult check, a difficulty check.
Right, it'd be an impressive feat.
Yeah.
Okay.
To push it, to roll it off would be easier. You wouldn't be able to lift it. You'd have to it would weigh more than what you potentially than what you can lift.
Okay, well, I mean, that's the idea. Is I wanna run over to this barrel and I wanna push it down the lane at Jolt, but also to block this exit.
Okay, very good. Then you can run and make that attempt. It will require considerable strength, but
excellent. All right, I'm going to move my movement to the barrel.
Okay. So you run over to the barrel as the fireball explodes in the middle of the room, and the giant runs past you, and you crouch down with both fingers and go and try to heave the barrel off its mooring.
Proper lifting, squatting down straight back. And as I enter my rage, I will lift to throw the barrel stand over and send the barrels careening down towards Jolt Elagos. And my real plan here is to smash the invisible buttons, who is hopefully in the way. And if not, I will reveal my plan that these barrels will break, sending ale everywhere, and we will see little kitty paws pop, 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 pop through the barrel mead. And I will find him and I will destroy him.
Gotcha.
All right.
I love it.
So, with advantage of the rage, I got a 19, which is a 27 strength.
Okay, so you run over, and with Herculean strength, for the first second, it doesn't move, and then you sort of put your neck muscles into it, and they pop out, and in this weird lizard-like way, your neck just becomes the thickest neck in the history of necks. And you're like, and it comes off. And the barrel goes rolling down the hill. The tap on it breaks, and it sends ale flying everywhere down with it. Unfortunately, the barrel's attached to the map tile. It's not a separate object, so I can't move it.
Sure. I'm happy with boxes. I know I'm messing with your land.
So, that's fine. Hey, this is the first. No one's ever done a barrel attack before, and I love it. So I will use something to represent the barrel, though, so we can just see its trajectory. Might not be as cool looking, but here it is. All right, so you lift the barrel up, and it rolls down, and so make an attack roll for the barrel.
Cool. Would it be a strength attack?
It would be an improvised weapon.
That's fair. What would a javelin uses my strength score? Would an improvised thrown uses my dex?
Yeah.
So I will use my dex. Then I'll make it a reckless attack.
There you go.
7.
Okay, so Jolt quickly sidesteps out of the way as you send the barrel down. Advance, sent to back.
You're right,
Sorry.
John.
She's able to use a reaction to move out of the way since the attack roll was failed, and you send the barrel careening down. Now it hits. There's a little piece of wall. I don't know if you can see that with your vision. Let me see. So it hits that wall area, gets stuck, kind of turns in sideways, and breaks on the corner, sending ale everywhere, all over the ground. As it opens up and releases its entire contents all over the ground. I will draw another shape indicating where that ale has gone. And the ale just floods everywhere.
Awesome.
I need to do, polygon. Sorry. Oh, I need ale color. Damn you. I'm having a hard time drawing. Sorry. Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to do with your turn?
Ready, Mawstorm, not like I have a prepared action or anything, but basically I'm searching the ale now for the feet of buttons that has spilled onto the ground.
Okay, so you're just looking, not doing it. You've used your action, so can't do a thorough investigation. Okay, so there's ale everywhere, all over the floor, like 6 inches of it as it just fills up. Okay, and then Tedna from behind you takes a cue, and he runs up. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he looks to you. He's like, "Give me a gun, Hope."
I'll motion to my bag. There's a revolver in there.
Okay, so he grabs a hand quickly and in the revolver, and he takes a shot at Jolt.
Oh dear.
Takes a shot at Jolt. Jolt's ready for this.
Yeah.
And as he takes his shot, both of her revolvers come out, and she fires back. All right, the shot connects. It's just going to be a quick second. I got to find out something really quick about her character sheet. All right, here we go. Okay, so Tedna has to make a saving throw. The bullet, one of her shots goes wide, and the other one, you hear a, and it connects with his side, his arm. He's like, ah! It connects with his side, and he holds his arm, and he drops the gun he took out of your bag, and he goes, ah, shit! As he takes the shot in the side. That's Tedna's turn.
Did he just shoot him?
No, he didn't shoot himself.
No, so
Jolt
Jolt, he
She
ran
had
up.
readied her guns.
He ran up, pulled
Clearly.
the gun, and when he drew to shoot, she also shot. She had readied an action to shoot back if anyone shot at her. So he missed. She fired 2 shots, one missing, one hitting him in the chest, and it entering in and going whoop, like that. Okay, perfect. It is now all right. Okay, let's see here. So Stanley, let's see,
Yes.
or Diantalis.
Which one is which? Which one's worse?
Sorry, we've got a lot of characters with a lot of special abilities. It's just requiring me to just remind myself, if in case anyone's wondering what I'm doing, what the deal is.
It's all good.
Oh, perfect. Oh. All right. So, what happens is you see buttons blink into existence here, and then he appears to cast another spell on himself as he's visible. He says magic words, lifts up his hands, like, ah, magical goodness for me, and he casts some more magic over him, and then he seems to turn into a blur. And then his motions, as he's doing these things, his motion is like, you see these trails from his hands as he's motioning with the magic, and then okay, perfect. Diantalis, it's your turn.
All right. I am going to casually reach up, snap, and prestidigitate out the torch behind me.
Okay, yeah, and the perfect. It's gone.
Do I have any idea how dark it is around me? Because I can't. It's hard to tell
There's-
on the.
There's still bright light because there's another torch across the way from you, and Varel and Nash have light stones.
Oh, and that even from over there, that's enough for me to be in bright light.
I believe, yeah, there's bright light everywhere.
But we can't see him at all.
They can't see me at all.
I'm watching from your position. I can see you both. I can see Stanley.
Oh,
quite
it's
clearly.
because I'm behind the barrel, probably.
I go into total darkness in this sort of range.
Really, you're seeing darkness?
I see total darkness.
Yeah, I saw. I don't feel like I should be in the radius of anything.
Wait, what? Well, there's. Why, is this not working right? Hang on, let me see.
I'm gonna give Varel a stone when it gets to be my
There's
turn.
definitely like a line of sight, enforced line of sight, and the dynamic lighting is on. Does that do anything?
Oh,
Turned
I,
off the
s-
dynamic.
I see
can
everything.
See
now.
everything now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want that. Yeah, no, you're in bright light, dude. Unless if you're trying to break line of sight, that's different. But if you need to be in darkness,
No, it's just that there was one torch, and I can see the radius of the torch on mine, and I would no longer be in it, so I just didn't know what light I would be in at the moment.
maybe something's up with you guys. You have sight. You have dark vision. Okay. Maybe I've got someone's range wrong on their light. No, 40, 20 feet of light.
Mine's good, I think.
That's what you have for your light stones that both you have equipped.
I mean, not even
like-
from a using the map standpoint. I'm just thinking of it from a logistics of what I'm seeing. This side of the room was only lit by one torch, which is now out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just
For what
not.
it's worth, I just put my vision in the Slack.
I appreciate that. Oh, you are seeing that. Well, it's funny because I have the option to see what you guys see for lighting, and it's not showing me the same thing that you're seeing. That's why I'm a little confused. All right, maybe let me just leave and come back. 1 sec. Maybe there's something bugged. Sorry, guys. So your intent is to use dim light? Because, yeah, from what Varel's showing me here, you're in dim light. Okay. Well, let's go with that then, because that looks right. What Kyle sent.
Yeah, that's
It's just,
kind of.
I wasn't seeing the same thing on my end, and I don't know why. It must be
When you
an
see
option.
from our perspective, do you pick the player or is it from us as players? Because
No, I pick the player, and it's an
Okay.
option to see as though I was them, like what they're,
Okay.
so I know what they're seeing, and it's not working. Unfortunately, there's some source of bright light in here that I can't account for.
So yeah, I'm gonna just be in the
Alright,
shadows. I will call diplomacy back to me, and that will be my turn for now.
Yeah, I think for sure you shouldn't be in any torch. You should be in dim light if that's what you want to do. I don't know what's breaking on my side.
Yeah, the idea was to be in as much darkness as I could. So
Yeah, no. What Varel sent me looks correct. That's why I don't know what I have going on my side that is causing that. Let me rejoin as player. See if that does it. I shouldn't have to do that though. So what would you like to do with your turn? Let's keep moving.
that's it. I snuff out the light, which is my action. I call diplomacy back as a bonus action. And I'm going to just hang back in as much of the dark as I can. Maybe I'll move one back to just make sure I'm even further in the dark.
Okay. When I rejoin as player, Kyle, I see the same thing you do. Yeah, you're in complete darkness. You're not only in dim light, you're in complete darkness.
Perfect.
Okay. It's just weird. There's something broken with the GM view right now. Okay, so you do nothing. Bok Bok, having successfully kicked open a barrel, looks to you again, Varel, and says, "Big, big," and points at Pod, who's still down the hallway.
I've got anger in my eyes, holding up my sword, scanning the room, and I say, "Bok Bok, eat the cat."
Yes.
All right. So he walks up very quietly. 2, 3. Sort of like in a hunter pose as he's like creeps and he's looking everywhere to see if he can't see the cat as he follows your command. And he readies an action to attack a cat should a cat appear. All right, perfect. Jolt herself, after having shot Tedna, spins her guns and starts backing up a little bit to put distance between you, backing towards the barrel, but has her hands near the gun and readies another action. Nash, it is your turn.
Oh gosh. Can you remind me the state of Pod? Can I see? I can't see her. Is the problem? So,
Pod just attempted to make a huge arcing swing at you and then tripped and fell past you and into the wall behind you. There's now a large, giant pixie, wings fluttering behind her, who just ran into the wall behind you and is peeling her face off the wall.
and she's only had one move. We're not.
This is round 2 of combat.
Okay.
That's been her first move.
Okay. I'm going to... I don't know if this is going to do anything. Since she's behind me and away from all the team, I feel pretty safe trying this. I'd like to do a... second level sleep.
Okay.
Let me just make sure that's the one that I don't want third. I'll be out of third level slots though if I do. Okay. Let's do, yeah, I'll cast second level sleep on her. I want to just try to stop her from doing things.
So there's no saving throw. All you have to do is roll the number of hit dice.
Right.
And it has to be the amount of hit points she has or more.
And I won't know what those, I don't know what those are, do I?
You don't know what her hit points are.
Shit.
However, she's quite large. Larger than normal target for you to put to sleep. You note to yourself. There's a voice in your head that says, she's quite large. I wonder if this spell will work on a large thing, says Nash Maggard's thoughts of Nash
of
Solar Mines.
Of the Solar Mines. I'm gonna say that to myself and go, what was I thinking? Instead, I'll make her half as powerful, and I'm gonna reduce her to half her size.
Okay.
Just
perfect.
Yeah.
So it's an unwilling creature, so I'll need you to let me know what's the
con 15.
Con 15.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. I rolled a 16.
Shit!
So she saves. The spell has no effect, and you burn a spell slot.
Gosh, dang it, dude. Shit! This is payback for my sweet...
You attempt to shoot magic out, and you feel that there's like this sort of glow coming from your hands and enveloping her, and then it just feels like it's sliding off of her like water.
Yeah. Someone in the chat's like, go dragon him. I don't want to hurt her. She's one of us here, still, in my mind. I know the rest of you may not feel that way, but I do. I'm gonna go, damn it! And then I'm gonna run and hide behind that barrel right there.
Okay, perfect.
And that's my turn.
All right. Pod feels the magic and goes, Nash, you dirty, dirty boy! She turns around.
Jeez.
She stomps 1, 2, 3, 4. She gets over to you, and as you hide inside the thing, she reaches a hand in and tries to grab you. I'm going to need you to either use dexterity or strength for a grappling contest.
I'll do a dex roll.
Yeah.
Hold on. I always forget. Oh, that doesn't matter, does it? I gave myself no points in dexterity or strength. Fantastic. So, my roll will be an 18. Please!
Okay, my roll was not as good, even with a huge
Nice.
modifier.
Oh.
The giant, you managed to squirm your way deeper behind the barrel as she grabs the barrels and she crushes the wood in her hand, and the whole place becomes flooded with meat as it's just like everywhere inside. Meat spills out, and you're covered. You're soaking wet right now, Nash, covered in ale as she breaks the barrels, trying to squeeze in and get back in there. And in her anger, she picks up one of the barrels, the one you're hiding behind, and flings it behind her towards Hope and Tedna and Stanley. You're going to have to make dexterity saving throws, the two of you.
Damn it.
22.
Natural 1.
All right, so here's what happens. She picks up the barrel, flings it behind her. Hope, you can move out of the way 15 feet in any direction.
15, huh?
But I would stay out of the trajectory of the. I'll draw the trajectory for you. It'll be like here, something like that.
Perfect.
All right, so you move 15. It hits Tedna, and Tedna's now pasted to the end of it. And then you see Stanley from around the corner of the barrel come flying with Tedna in it as Tedna gets crushed up against the wall right next to you. A piece of the barrel hits you. You don't take the entire brunt of its force. So you suffer Sorry. You suffer 5 points of damage. Tedna will take...
He suffers death.
You hear Tedna go... Ugh! You hear this sort of sickening squish as he gets pinned between the barrel and the wall, and you just hear like a... Ugh! And the barrel the large barrel kind of blows up, and there's a big puddle of meat all around your feet, and you just see Tedna's hand hanging out from the pile of wood against the wall where it was smashed.
It was a real shame.
Okay. Hope, it's your turn.
All right. Hope is fixed on Jolt. She doesn't give a shit about what's going on in the rest of the room. So she sees Jolt trying to back up like the little bitch that she is, and she like cocks her gun arm, and her first shot goes into Jolt's knee.
Yeah.
Or tries to.
So are you making attack rolls?
Yes.
So as you go to make your shots, she also pulls up both guns and draws and fires at both of them.
Hope will scream out, "Shoot me and see what happens."
These attacks will happen concurrently.
Okay, and I have a reaction to them.
Wait.
What?
What
was
you
that?
have a reaction?
I have a reaction to these?
Okay, then I guess that has to happen first.
Oh, because she has
she has to do damage first, and then I can react.
Well, you're saying the Hope has to.
But you're attacking at the same time, so I'll need you to make your attack rolls.
Oh,
You've
so she
declared
doesn't
your intent
get
to attack. You
Okay.
just shot 2 shots at it, right? So they're happening at the same time.
Okay,
You've had a draw moment, so you like draw and you shoot, and then so she's like a Wild West shootout. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're both shooting at this point.
Okay, so the first one is a 15.
Okay. Let me get her sheet. 1 second. And the second one?
Does the first one hit her knee?
The first one hits her. It's a hit. Are you doing a called shot?
Yeah, because I want to drop her. I don't want her to run anymore.
Okay, that's going to be a little different. Called shot, you're going to have a -5 to your roll if you want to do a called shot.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, well, both of them are going to aim at her knees. So the first one with a -5 is going to bring it to a 10.
Yep.
And the second one with a -5 is going to bring it to a 23.
Jesus Christ, what? Okay, you take a shot. Shot goes wide. The second shot, within nanoseconds, it's hit its mark and shot its knee. However, shots are coming towards you. I'm just getting my shot modifier here.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a big modifier. And you are also hit with one of the shots. One shot goes out at the same time, and you take a shot in the side here. Of your belly. And I just need to see something really quick again, because SARS. Okay, yep, the shot goes in. I'll need you to make a Constitution 13 saving throw.
Oh, cool. Let's see. Natural 20.
Perfect. The bullet goes clean through.
All right. Now, the reaction is
your...
when I take damage. So does that happen next, or do I wait?
Yeah,
for
we're both gonna roll our damage now for
okay.
for the guns. So roll your damage for the one shot you did, and I'll roll mine.
That's sad. I rolled 2 ones. So 6 damage. But I shattered her kneecap, right?
Not for that much damage. 7 plus 6 is you take 13 points of damage as the shot grazes the side of you, and your shot on her knee doesn't incapacitate. It grazes the side of her leg, and you can see her. She wobbles a bit and then stands upright still, shoots, and puts the guns back in her holster and has her hands waiting again for you. And there's a glint of mischief in her eye as she sizes you up.
Okay, cool.
She smiles.
Well, as she smiles and I take this damage, Hellish Rebuke is going to go off. And so the infernal flames come up, and I start muttering, really nasty things and infernal at her. And I point at her, and she takes 3d10 of fire damage, and she gets to roll a dexterity save 14.
Dexterity save 14. Okay. It's a fail, so it gets 3d10 damage.
Cool, 13 damage.
Okay, perfect. She takes 13 points of damage as flames. Is there a range on the flames? They can. Are you
60 feet.
60? Okay, cool. So flames from. Is it from the bullet hole? Is it birthed from the bullet hole, or do they just? How does a rebuke work?
You know what? I like to imagine that the fires appear around her, and then they get closer and closer and closer, and just start burning her flesh as they kind of disappear inside of her.
Okay. You can see the smile on her face vanish immediately as the flames come shooting out forth from you and singe her and burn her, and she screams out in pain. Ah! Ah! She, again, poises back, taking damage from the flames. Okay.
Cool.
Is there anything else that we'd like to do here?
I'll take 3 steps forward toward her.
Okay, so you take 3 steps closer to her as you begin to back her in the corner. Perfect. All right. Okay, it is. They're all dead. Varel, it is your turn.
Am I in Pod's threat range?
You are within melee range of her. Yes.
So I would take opportunity attacks, adjusting, and whatnot.
It's an opportunity attack to leave her vicinity.
Yeah.
She's really scary on this map.
Yeah.
I don't like it. She's scary.
But she's only...
I know, right?
She's just...
Sorry, that was too much probably.
But current, yeah, that's my thought, right? Is because currently, if I were to do, a look to the side, Nash would be cowering behind non-existent barrels. So he's literally cowering on the ground with a giant.
Yeah, he's cowering on the ground behind the barrel, like well, one barrel's gone, so he's hiding behind the barrel. Then she took the barrel and threw it away.
Okay, we finally have a name for her.
And Nash went like, good. And then the shadow looms over top of him as Pod is like, "Argh."
We have a name. The chat room's come up with Podzilla. So there you go.
There we go.
Yep. I don't know why it wasn't so obvious before, but Podzilla. There it is.
Okay. All right. So I am. So I've got my sword, and I'm planning to look for the cat, but Giant Pod walks up, and I'll just turn to her and say, "Pod, I am trying to find a cat," and I'll just jump at her, and I am going to attempt to. Would I stab Pod? Would I be friendly? I guess I'll grapple Pod.
There's a limit on who you can grapple from sizes, I believe.
Yeah. Like a headlock wouldn't even work.
You could climb onto her.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be able to reduce her movement speed to 0 or something like that. She's way above your weight class.
Okay, I don't want to attack stomach and like mess her up, but I am going to try to take off an arm. So she's got her arm reaching towards Nash, and I'm just going to do a double slam of the sword onto that arm.
Perfect.
Pardon my indecision.
It's a violent
first attack
end.
is a 13.
Okay.
And a 22.
13 and a 22. All right, so the first one will be a hit. Or not the first one, the 22. The 22. Sorry, the 22. Whichever one was 22.
Cool. That'll be 11. 11. So 15 points of damage, and I'd like to use my bonus action to engage the Maw Storm in a grapple.
Perfect, you can do that.
And I know we're not like, it's not going to hold her back, but and like get control of that arm.
It won't hold her back, but it's for the sword to grip into the limb that you're cutting off.
Cool. That's a 13 save for you.
What ability?
Dexterity.
Thank you. It's a fail. So you take your great sword, you hack once, you don't penetrate the giant pixie skin, hack a second time, and then it sinks into muscle, and then you press the button on it, the blade opens up and a chainsaw comes out, and you go and a big jet of blood comes out as you start pressing down, and you sink it enough into the meat of her flesh that it's now lodged in there as it starts to saw into her arm.
20 points of damage total.
Perfect. She takes 20. All right. As you do this, Tedna pushes off some wood, stands up. He touches his chest and look in his shirt and puts his hand away, and he says, Hope, I don't feel so good.
Oh, jeez. The little shit. He's gonna make me feel bad for him.
How loudly does he say that?
He says, I don't feel so good, Hope. And then where the bullet enters explodes. And his arm comes flying off, and in the strip of his chest, you can see ribcage exposed as the bullet that entered him exploded from inside a turn later, blowing up half of his arm. And then the look of shock and horror, surprise, his hand reaches out towards you, Hope, and he drops to the ground, clutching his side. You can see lung, you can see intestine, you can see his side opened up. He's in bad shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad shape.
I guess that was the con save you made.
Yeah.
Holy butts.
Oh, these guns are amazing.
Yeah, the bullet exploded inside of him the turn later. So as you look in horror as to what's happened, Buttons appears behind you. Hope. And, sorry, I have to blinks in. Let's see what he's going to do. So he casts a spell. Sorry. He casts a spell of wind. And it pushes Bok Bok, without provoking opportunity attacks, one square away from him. Just sort of turns around, looks at him, and with his hands just moves him back. And then he turns around to you, Hope, and you don't really see this, so he actually has advantage on this attack.
Yeah.
He pulls a knife from his pack, and he sticks it right in your calf. Does 18 will hit you, right?
Yes.
Okay, you take 4 points of damage.
Okay.
As a knife, you feel a sharp stabbing pain in your calf, and then he disappears again. Diantalis,
Did he leave the knife in there?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to move up to where I can kind of look past the barrel. And everybody seems to be in a bit of a situation, but we'll go ahead and focus on Giant Pod for now. And as a bonus action, I will cast Hex on her. And in addition to the Hex effect, I will... what is it? Choose one ability when you cast. They have disadvantage on ability checks with the chosen ability, so we'll say Strength.
On who? Pod?
Pod.
Okay. What's the roll for the resisting it, or is it?
There is none.
Okay, so she has disadvantage on strength checks.
Strength ability checks, not like
Ability
saving
checks.
throws or anything like that, but just...
Okay.
And then I will fire 2 blasts of Eldritch Blast at Pod.
Okay.
That is going to be for the first beam, Uh, 23.
Okay.
And then for the second beam, it will be an 18.
All right.
Nice.
So can you give me the total, please? 23,
Uh,
18, 33 plus 8 is
Yeah, hold on. Let me.
30, 41, 42.
Wait. No, that was just to hit. Those were just the 2 to hit. That
Oh,
wasn't
sorry.
damage.
Okay.
No, sorry. Sorry about that.
No, okay. They were both over 17.
Okay, sweet. All right, so that's 10 plus 5. So the first beam is 10 force damage and 5 necrotic.
Okay.
The second beam is 14 force damage and 5 necrotic.
Okay, so for a total of 19. Perfect. All right, you let 2 beams stretch out, and you cast hex on. Like you cast the hex on her, and you feel her diminishment in this regard, and then you fire out eldritch blasts, large arcs of, is it lightning? It's just this crackling blue-black.
Yeah,
across the room.
Yeah, just a big blast.
Everyone
of
sees it.
Brief light.
Everyone sees it from out the shadows as it creases across her back, burning her flesh, singeing her wings. She cries out, but she's still focused on Nash. But she looks to see what might have attacked her and turns around. All right, Bok, having been pushed back, goes and swings at the air wildly. Tries to find tries to find the kitty cat that he's supposed to kill, and stays in place on the hunt, readying another action. Jolt puts, having been attacked, turns around and starts running up. She turns around, books it for the barrel, and makes an attempt to climb up on top of it and over to the other side. Natural 20. She jumps on up, and she's on top of the barrel, and she looks down on you with the high ground, and she puts her hands next to either side. Nash, it is your turn.
I've been struggling about where to go, what to do. She's still fixated on me. She's turned her head.
She's turned her head to look back at what shot lightning at her.
Okay, so, and she's doing that toward.
She's looming all the way up to the ceiling, 20 feet up, standing in front of you.
All right. I'm going to do what I should have done all along. Thunderwave, no. I'm going to.
You're also covered in mead.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Is that bad?
No, just saying.
No disadvantage or anything. Okay. Just making sure I'm not
wet.
screwing myself up here. All right. I am going to. This is dumb. I shouldn't do it. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. Never mind. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to. Yeah, I'm going to do what I should have done the first time. I'm going to again cast Enlarge, or in this case Enlarge, and I'm going to double the size of our friend Varel. It's combo time.
Okay.
That will burn a
Do you
slot.
accept the gift?
Yeah, do you accept it?
I accept the gift.
All right, burns a slot. And I say this. Ready? Our own graves will have to dig unless I make Varel super big. And now he's he
He's 14 feet tall.
Yeah.
But still not as tall as Super Pod.
I then will, in this moment, move to the. Is this barrel still good? This one here?
Yeah, that barrel's still there.
I'm gonna move over here while she's not looking and hide in this corner.
The Heidi magic users.
Yep.
All right. Okay, perfect. That's your turn. Varel doubles in size. Pod turns around and looks for her assailant. She cannot see, I believe, right? This is where...
Yeah, should be in total darkness unless she gained dark vision.
I think what I have here is that there's something weird with Varel's. Let me just try changing it. No. Oh, it's the torch. Isn't it? No.
Oh,
torch
we got
is
dark
something in this room is emitting a ton of light. That's what I'm just trying to figure out.
Is it
Is
me?
there a light stone?
I think it's Hope.
Is it? Because I don't see that at all. When you turn that torch off, Hope's now in darkness for me.
There's something on my screen that's emitting a lot of
Oh,
light.
I see.
I think it actually is Hope. For me.
Well, hope
It's
is
just
very
kinda-
powerful, you know.
That's right. Hope is the light that sends us on our way.
Well, did you
Oh,
do
in
anything
advance.
with my devil sight? Because that might adjusting
No,
that might have messed with
I fixed it, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, you are actually emitting light.
Who is?
What? This roll. Why is it being all broken now? It's annoying.
I don't know.
Alright. Yeah, I'm still having the same problem. There's something down here that's oh, you are emitting light for me, for the DM. But it should be just that you have sight, but yeah, anyways, okay. You should be in dim light though. It's too bad it's not working right. It's kind of annoying, to be honest. Yeah, this is you. I'm just moving you around here.
That is annoying.
Because there's a way to do it so that you guys have dark vision, but you don't give other players the option to see their light. I think they made an update in the game and changed things around. I saw the notification. I think that's what they did, but it's messing with me.
I still only
All right.
see my point of view. And
Sorry,
Lance.
this doesn't make for good stuff. I'm just trying to figure this out.
No, you're fine.
Whose
Fine.
turn did I say it was? It was Pod. So
Pod.
all right. 1, 2. Now, Nash, or not Nash, Varel, you have your sword lodged in her arm.
Yeah.
So she's turned around. Are you gonna move with the sword? She's gonna like pull it from you. I guess she has to pull it from you in order to turn around. So
Yeah. Could
that
I do
makes
an
sense.
opposing strength check to keep her?
Yeah, she's gonna have to release the grapple. So she turns around, having taken the damage and also seeing the sword stuck in her arm, and looks to you. And yeah, no, she's gonna deal with you. Sorry, your chainsaw on her arm is a more immediate threat, even though the other thing did a lot of damage. So she turns to you, and 1 second, her eyes cloud over. You see her large pixie eyes begin to cloud over and turn into a smoky gray. And I'm going to need you to make. Sorry. I'm using a lot of abilities that don't come up, so I'm having to read. I'm having to read them and be like, I forget what they do.
It's totally fine. Totally fine.
Control me, bro.
By the way, somebody
Okay,
in the chat
it's a
boat,
wisdom saving throw.
someone in the chat says they think that the thing you're having with the light is actually a bug in Roll20 since the update, and they had the same problem.
Oh, that could be it. Yeah, it's really messing me up for what people can and cannot see. It really sucks.
Yeah.
Because I got used to using it. I'm going to need you to make a wisdom 17 saving throw, Varel.
Ooh, holy crap.
All right.
3.
Just
So
enough.
she looks at you, and in her, she would be a pixie. So normally, the mischief she's about to engage in might sound like hee hee hee, but you just hear her go hee 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 as she begins laughing, and she brings a hand up, and Thanos snaps in front of your face, and you transform into a chair. You are now a giant chair. You can move around, but you are a chair.
So I'm like a Beauty and the Beast chair. I can gallop.
Yep, exactly. You're now a chair.
All right.
And you're now standing there.
Am I still giant?
You're still giant. You're a giant chair. And then the sword transforms, unfortunately, along with it, so it's no longer grappled in there. You transform into a chair. Having disposed with you, she now charges. 1, 2, 3, 4. She goes, Stanley! As she runs across the hall. Doof, 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 doof. And as she runs, her eyes fill up again, and she begins casting a second spell on you, Stanley. Between the rocks, stones around you begin breaking, and large vines begin coming out of the stone from a place impossible to come from, filled with greenery. And the vines come out and spread around you in 20-foot square, and they attempt to wrap themselves around your limbs. I'm going to need you to make a strength saving throw of 17.
Ooh, strength. That is a big no.
Okay, you are now restrained. So your speed is 0. Attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage as you fight against the vines attempting to hold you down. You also have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. As a product of being restrained, so there are now vines jumping up all around you as you're sort of restrained in the corner, fighting against it. However, she used up her actions, so she looms over you now, you the target of her attention. Hope, it is your turn.
This pod thing. Okay, so...
Makes me wish I'd left her home. She hasn't been that big of a help. Dang it.
Tedna's blown up. I'm going to see that. That's going to kind of knock me out of the focus on Jolt. And then I'll kind of like come out of my self-imposed trance following that whore of a woman around, and I'll look and I'll see that pod's just wrecking everything, and my calf stings for some stupid reason, and I'll turn the gun to Pod. She's mostly muscle now, right? Are there any obvious weak points?
She looks like the Hulk version of a female pixie with wings, and how she looks.
Okay, so is her head relatively large, easily exposed, kind of?
It's
thing?
really big. Yeah.
I mean, is she naked? She naked?
Well, she's always worn her like she had like a little
nipple.
cloth sort of over her chest and.
Did that grow with her then?
In her privates area, as you guys discussed last week.
Okay.
They grew with her, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. It's not a full Hulk situation.
I just was thinking you could do, I don't know.
It'd be uncomfortable. It'd be uncomfortable.
Cool, so Hope's going to curse very loudly in Infernal. She's going to move 10 feet to kind of put a barrel between her and Jolt, in case Jolt tries to shoot her in the back. And then she'll aim up at Pod's head, and Hope's not trying to keep her alive, so if she happens to hit the temple or an eye or something, that would be great, but the head in general is what...
You're going to fire shots at her? Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. All right, so you run up against the barrel, you're back to it, and you extend your shotgun arm out and take your shots.
Okay, the first one is going to be a 15.
Okay.
And the second, a 16.
Okay, they're both misses. Well, they hit her, but they do no damage.
Okay.
As they hit her skin, piercing in. It does cause blood to form, but doesn't cause any damage to her.
Okay.
All right. Varel, it is your turn. You were a chair.
Isn't he a double-sized chair, though? Is he a big double chair?
He's a giant chair.
Sweet.
So he's a double-sized chair. So wait a second. So I mean, just look at your chair that you're sitting in right now and picture it twice the size. It's not that big.
But I'm occupying 20 or 10 square feet. So I'm like a sofa.
Yeah, you're still occupying 10 square feet, we'll say. So, and Varel, you're still sentient. You can still think and see.
Can I talk?
You're this weird... Yeah, somehow there's a bit of a design etched into the back of the chair, and in it there's your face.
Ooh, could I have like one of those like dragon top kind of? Does I kind of have like a head on the top of the
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Sweet.
Love it.
Do I have access to my special abilities, and am I raging currently?
Yeah, you're in your new form. I think you can. Wait, I might have made a mistake here. One sec.
Can he talk? Like, can the chair say things? That's what I want to know.
The replaced mental ability scores are everything's replaced by the object, so your strength becomes the strength of a chair.
Oh.
Yeah. And your points to the new form. Now, when that form breaks, you revert back to your old form. You won't just die as a chair.
Okay. Would I be so? If I could, would I be aware that if I became a killed chair, I would become myself?
No, I told you this just because, I mean, you've been polymorphed essentially, and that's part of the spell. So as part of the polymorph spell, like same with happens with Nash when you're polymorphed. I think true polymorph is when you can truly change someone into a chair, and then if you break the chair, they're just dead. Or whatever. Like true polymorph is it, but you've been only polymorphed. So you do have a sense that this is that magic has been used to reform you, but that it won't kill you if you die as a chair.
Okay.
We'll just say you know that. Yeah.
Okay. So I am confident as a chair, but I do feel weak, as though I had the strength score of a chair.
Your strength is like 0.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Well, what I'd like to do is gallop over to the barrel that Jolt is on.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my standard action to, as my Desert Storm Soul, set fire to a flammable object.
Yeah,
and
you don't have a chair doesn't have access to that ability.
Oh,
I don't
no,
think
so
you can. You are a chair.
Okay, so I'm raging, but I don't have
The only
my
thing that
abilities.
the only thing that you keep as a part of transforming, because I'm reading it now, I didn't really wasn't clear in the beginning, so that's my bad. The new form. The target's game statistics, including mental ability scores, are replaced by the statistics of the chosen beast. Yeah, it seems maybe I can't transform you into a chair, but
you did.
But I did. It's what I did. But
okay.
Yeah, but it retains its alignment and personality, and you can walk around, and you're a sentient chair.
It's his alignment. Thank goodness he gets to keep.
You're a sentient bear. You're a sentient chair.
A sentient bear? Right. Wait, what? A sentient bear is awesome.
Okay, then I will pretend to be a chair. I'm gonna get Burrell's gonna get his bearings, but I'd like to prepare an action to scoop up Buttons into my seat should he appear.
Is it your bear? Are you getting your bearings or your chairings? Sorry, go ahead. Continue on.
Okay, so you sort of rick it over. Tick, 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 tick. There's a giant chair sort of bouncing on its feet as it wobbles. And ready's an action to comfortably seat Buttons when he.
Well, I guess that's the problem, right?
This is the best thing ever we've ever done.
Because I don't have my strength. So what my original plan was to charge in and seat bully style pod. But I don't have any strength score to do it with, so it would be a chair bumping her, calf.
Yeah. You trying to trip her?
Yeah, like someone stand there and you just seat them. You pop the chair in behind them.
Okay. I get what you want to do. Move. Okay, you can do this.
Okay, cool.
I'll allow this.
All right, that's what I'll do. So I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run across the room. Do I maintain my speed? Do I still have my 40, or do I move 30 again?
The speed of Ascension chair, we'll say, is 30. You can't have your barbarian ability.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Again,
it probably should be 10. I think it's 10. It's 10.
Okay.
You can't run across the room. It's 10.
Damn it. Hey, that dog foot thing in Beauty and the Beast, it was going.
But you're close enough to scoop up Bok Bok, and you can be his steed.
Okay, all right, I'll do that. I will run up and I will bend my front chair legs and I will scoop up Bok Bok and I will do aid other in his hunt for the cat.
Bok Bok looks at you with eyes wild and goes, "What?" as you bowl him over in an attempt to make him sit, and he does clamber on top of you to avoid. He doesn't realize he's supposed to sit on it. He clambers on top of you to avoid being knocked over as you push towards him.
Okay.
You now have Bok Bok on top of your royal personage.
Awesome. I can't flame burst, can
Nope. All right, and as you do that, Hope. Buttons appears in front of you again. And this time he appears in midair as though he was doing a cat jump. Like just in midair, you see him go. And he's got this blur behind him as Dagger, he goes and swings the knife in your face, trying to strike at you.
Can I try and grab his stupid little paw with my metal arm?
You could if you readied an action to do so. But
Damn
however,
it.
you're busy doing something else. One of them is
Yes.
a natty. The other one is a miss.
Oh,
Okay, and you take 13 points of damage as he sinks, and he manages to sink the knife into you and get a nice cut, just sort of up near the top of your shoulder here. And then, after he jumps at you, he lands on the ground and he blinks out of existence.
I hate cats. I hate cats, and this is making me hate cats even more.
All right, Diane Talus. There are vines constricting your movement. It's currently 0. I think you can make a save at the beginning of some turns.
Yeah, is it a save or is it using an action to try to
Creature
get
in the area when you cast it. You can use your action to make a strength check against your spell save DC to end it. So it's not an end of turn kind of thing. You'd have to use an action to remove yourself from the problem.
Forget that.
To attempt to.
There's got to be a better way. And there is. And I'm going to do Thunderstep again.
Nice.
Nice. That's a save. Dex save?
It's a Constitution save.
16, right?
Yeah.
That is a fail.
All right. That's exciting. Hold on. That means I roll stuff. 3d10.
Ooh.
Oh, jeez, you roll your keyboard?
I rolled in a different spot. It was very loud.
Yeah, you rolled right on the microphone.
Sorry about that.
It's funny.
Hold on, I just got to check one more thing with Hex. Is this considered hitting it with an attack, or is it because it's a save it's not considered an attack?
You're using a spell. So an attack is something that makes an attack roll. If there's an attack roll, it's an attack.
Okay.
So sometimes you have ranged spell attacks, but some spells don't, like Fireball. So it's not considered an attack. It's considered a spell.
So this would not be an attack. This would just be a spell.
No.
So that's going to be 9 damage to Pod.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And let's see, where do we want to go? Let's reappear. All these barrels up at the top are gone, right? So that's just open.
The 2 barrels. The one Nash is hiding behind is still there.
Yeah, it is. I'm not moving either.
I'm just going to teleport back here into darkness again.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. You disappear. Look.
And that was 9 damage.
You did 9 damage. Varel, as you're wobbling over in a chair with Bok Bok over you, you suddenly transform back into a giant lizard folk, back to your normal self. Having taken damage, concentration was broken on the part of Pod.
Awesome.
So you're back to being. So you just your chair wobbling, just like you're running, and Varel, not Varel, but Bok Bok is sitting on top of your head, holding on for dear life like it's a rodeo. Okay. Anything else, Diane Talus?
No. Although I hate to say it, we can figure it out if it ends up needing to be done, but my vision isn't set correctly. I should be able to see normally 180 feet or 140 feet.
That's new, right?
Yeah, that's new.
Is it 140 feet of dim light?
Oh, it's 180 normal.
You just have 180 normal vision.
Yeah.
Okay. That should fix it for you.
Yep. That did. Thank you.
Yeah, it's bugged on my end because it doesn't update with the correct thing. It is definitely bugged. Okay. Perfect. So that's that. Varel, it's Bok-Bok's turn, and you notice that he clambers on top in a readying position. So he plants both of his feet on top of your head, and has both of your hands on your snout, and he's sort of pushing down his feet somewhat in your eyes as he's crouched in a way to launch himself from the top of your head, waiting for you to get closer to Pod. That's what he's ready. All right, from up top, Hope, Jolt moves around to the barrel and tries to catch sight of you just from the corner, and she says, "You get a little scared, love. Come out and show yourself and fight like a real woman."
If you could actually fight, you'd have shot already.
And then she readies up her guns again. She's like, "Go on, take your best shot. Don't worry about that.
Can't fight unless they get shot at. That's a pretty big weakness you got there."
Your friends can't help you now. It's just me and you."
Oh, no.
I heard what
we'll
you
have
said.
Our fun.
I heard what you said. Come on. All right, and that's what she does. Nash, it is your turn.
Okay.
You don't see much of what's going on now. You just see barrel.
Yeah, I'm in the barrel. Deal. I don't have... If I peek over the barrel, it's not like I'm going to see any more than I already see, right? Like...
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can already see it. I mean, as a player.
Okay, so what I see...
But you don't have line of sight on anything right now.
Right. I mean, I hate to say it, but...
That's not true.
What?
You can see Jolt.
Oh, yeah, I can because she's got the thing. Yeah. Oh, and I've actually got line of sight directly on that wall, don't I? Okay. In that case, I think I'd like to throw a firebolt her direction. My cantrips go. Okay, here we go. This is 120 feet. That should be plenty. And 2d10 damage. So she needs to do a... Oh, there's no saving throw. It's just... I just do it. That's what it says,
yeah,
right?
So it's a ranged spell attack for Firebolt.
Right, but shouldn't she have a chance to save? No?
No, that's Acid Splash.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
Firebolt is a ranged spell attack.
Alright. Well, then I won't do hit. I will instead do... let's see, 2d10, so that would be... total of 15?
Okay, against Jolt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hit. It's a hit, roll your damage dice. Rolling the damage dice on the bad guy.
11?
Alright, okay, you do 11 damage. You fire out. Jolt seems to be paying attention to Hope and cat calling at her at this point, trying to goad her out from behind the barrels.
Oh, I have a thing to say when I do it. Are you ready? I have to say a thing, though.
Do it.
Okay, I go. Hey, Jolt, eat a bolt.
And as you say that, she looks in your direction, and as she does it, her face lights. The light from the firebolt lights up her face, and it just hits her. Paf! She takes 11 points of damage.
Sweet.
And she staggers and stumbles from the firebolt and slides down and falls off the side of the barrel down onto the ground next to it. But quickly doesn't fall prone, just slips down off the barrel as you hit her and surprise her. She slips down to the side.
Well, in that case, as part of my movement, I will ever so gently just move right there. So now I'm behind the barrel a little more.
Anything else, Nash?
Nope. Done.
Okay. Pod looks around. Her prey no longer there. She turns around immediately, hearing the footsteps of Varel. Well, the table steps of Varel, then the footsteps. As her wings flutter and she looks around, she flies, and as you're charging at her, Varel, she charges back towards you. 2, 3, 4, and attempts to grapple you. Let's make a grapple contest, Pharrell.
Did I maintain my rage through the chair edge?
No.
Oh.
Because you would have had to have done damage on that turn, right? To maintain the rage?
Yeah, I get, unless I'm counted as under attack by being a chair.
No, I don't think so. So what I'm going to do is let Bok Bok take his turn first, because that was his triggering thing, and he jumps towards Pod, trying to jump at her face and then latch on to her face. So he's actually going to make an ability check, and he does successfully make it over. He launches himself from your head, jumps on her face, and begins punching her eye. So we're going to say that she is blinded at this point. She does, however, attempt to make the grapple check on you, but she will. Does she get disadvantage for blinded?
She has disadvantage on strength ability checks from the hex as well.
Oh, so since she has disadvantage regardless. Okay, perfect. But it'll be a contest against you, Varel.
21 strength.
Okay. So my lowest roll was 18. So I rolled 18 and 20. Plus 6 is 20.
Oh, wait, I'm giant. I get advantage for what it's worth.
Okay. I have a 24 as my roll.
I got a 27.
Okay. So she attempts to grapple you as one of her attacks and is unable to grapple you as she puts her hands on both your shoulders, and you take both your arms and you go pa and break them off on either side. And then her eyes begin to cloud up again as she casts another spell upon you. I need you to make a intelligence saving throw of 17.
All right. 2.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to draw a square. What is it? It's a 20-foot square, isn't it? You use Phantasmal Force, right, John?
Yeah.
It's a 20-foot square that it affects, right? We did that last time.
Whatever you decide to project can take up a 20-foot square. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So she conjures up I didn't think this through. She conjures up a scary flying chair right next to you.
Okay.
And it is intense because it reminds you of your time as a chair, Varel, and you didn't know that.
So long. 6 seconds ago. All the trauma I've processed.
So to you, there's no one else sees this chair, but you are affected. You see a large chair with wings on it, flying next to. Oh, we said 20 feet. So 20 feet can be like that, right? 20 by 20.
No, that's a radius. It takes up 20 feet, I think.
But in the square, 20 feet square.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that might be fine. I can't remember how
it's
big
10
the
feet.
Varels
It's a 10 foot. It's a 10 foot. That's what
Okay.
it is. It's not 20.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember there not being that many Varels.
All right, there's a large
Or
thing.
few. Yeah, that seems
All right,
right.
so to you, Varel, the chair is scary. It looks like what you used to look like. You are scared of it. If you touch it, it will hurt, and you want it to be away from you. And the chair looks like it's moving in your direction and attempting to attack you, and protecting you from reaching after Giant Pod. Okay, Hope, it is your turn.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and shift around the barrel to once again break line of sight with Jolt.
Okay.
And I'm going to ready in action to catch that little fur ball. All right, and let me explain to you what I'm going to do to this thing if I catch him. I'm going to grab him with my arm, my metal arm, and that'll give him disadvantage. And we could go into that later if I catch him.
All right,
And
you're
then I'm
wanting
just
to
gonna-
grapple him, right?
Yes.
You're trying to catch him? Okay.
Yeah, his neck. And
So grapple is an attack action, so you can ready 2 attacks. Like, is it an attack after, or is there?
Oh, perfect. Okay, so the action I want to ready then is to grab his neck, squeeze hard enough, hopefully to snap it, but at the same, just start stabbing away at his little body.
Okay, that works. You have the economy for that.
Awesome.
Right,
and then I'll
action?
use my bonus action to do my second win to regain some health.
Okay, you can do that now. Perfect.
Yeah.
Varel, it is your turn. There's a giant flying chair that you see heading towards you.
All right, and I am compelled to run from it?
Not necessarily. It's not forced. So you may decide it's just really, really scary, and it will hurt you to touch it.
Yeah, you'd essentially 100% believe that that's a new enemy for you.
You'll believe that it's harmful to you. It will diminish your spirit and embarrass you, and as a result, you'll take psychic damage.
Okay, and it's mobile. It can pursue.
It has wings.
Okay.
Like the Pixie's wings. It's like a chair version of giant Pod.
It drank a Red Bull. It has wings.
I really wish I thought of something better of a chair, but here we are.
No, dude, trust me. Best thing ever. Varel chair.
I guess what I will say to make it clear for you is like attacking Pod will cause you to touch the chair potentially, taking damage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. And since it's phantasmal, like being on the other side of Pod wouldn't help because the chair is in pursuit.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Nash.
For what?
Giant Varel's gonna run.
Bokbok's also on her face, just FYI.
Oh, butts. Okay, so.
But you're scared of the chair.
I know, I'm scared of the chair. But
Are you more scared of the chair than you care for Bokbok, I guess is the question we need to...
Well, that'd have to be magical. Of course I'd care for Bokbok more than I'd be afraid of a chair, but if the chair is magically compelling me to be more scared of it, then I care for Bokbok.
Again, it's about your pride. Like, it'll embarrass you. Its weakness embarrasses you. And this embarrassment is a real psychological terror.
Yeah.
Just think, if you ever meet other lizard folk, you'd have to be honest with them and tell them you were a chair, and they would laugh at you and not respect you.
There goes your kingdom.
But I'm compelled not to attack it, correct?
You can attack it.
Right.
It's just you believe that the chair is... It's only you who can see the chair, and you believe the chair is there, and that it's meant to harm you if you touch it.
I think I'd still go with my original plan, which would be to run over here, now that I'm giant, pick up the barrel that Nash is hiding behind, and throw it at the chair and Pod.
Okay, perfect. So as you move out of melee range, she makes an attack with disadvantage at you, and misses.
Cool. I will lift the barrel.
Okay. Now that's with given your size, I think you could just probably lift it up, right? You're doubled in size.
Yeah.
Lifting up the barrel is just lifting up the barrel. You picked up an object.
Cool.
It's really heavy though, and you're encumbered, but you have it.
Awesome.
No athletics roll required. You pick up the large, giant, 10-foot diameter barrel. You're like, "Argh!" As you grunt in strength, your neck pops out again. And Nash is no longer a barrel hiding. You lift it up, and Nash is hiding behind the barrel, looking up like, "Oh shit!"
And then as I pick it up, I'll be like, "I gotta get rid of this chair." And I'll turn around, put it on the ground, and just push as hard as I can at the chair and Pod together.
Okay, so here we go with another barrel. Improvised weapon attack, please.
All right. Ooh. Well, a 20, not natural, for the dex ranged attack.
All right, roll your weapon damage, please.
Alright. So it's a D4 for improvised with the aim. So 4 points of damage, but there's weight behind it and stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Well, it hits her. You do 4 points of damage. Okay. It hits her and sort of staggers her back a little bit as she has to take a step back, separating her from the chair. And the barrel, she sort of knocks the barrel to the side, and it just hits the wall on the bottom side. Perfect. Doesn't really break against her, but it runs into her, and she knocks to the side. Ah! I just wanted to free my friends. Now I'm gonna free your skeletons instead. She yells out. All right, it is that can't be his turn. All right, Hope Buttons appears and sorry, wait a second. You ready up, waiting for him, and you look to the left, look to the right, and as you look to the right, he makes an attempt to appear where you're not looking. But because you're ready in action, your metal hand rushes out in an attempt to grapple him. It's contest time.
Are you ready?
I have rolled.
23.
All right, and I just gotta get my modifier real quick. I have so many sheets open right now. Yeah, 17.
Nice.
Your metal hand reaches out, wraps around his neck, and you now have a cat squirming like crazy in your neck.
All right, cool. So my hand is going to get tighter and tighter and tighter until hopefully his little neck snaps. But while that's going on, I've got my Bowie knife for my secondary attack, and I'm just going to be to him.
All right, so you only have enough running room to make one attack roll, so
Okay.
Make the attack roll.
All right, it is a 21.
A 21. Perfect. Sorry, 21 points of damage?
Oh, I wish.
21 hit. Oh, yeah. Roll your damage dice, please.
9 points of damage, and I just want to bury it into his little chest and then just drag it down. Gut him.
Okay, so, did you roll the damage?
Yeah, 9 damage.
9 damage. Okay, so you stick the knife in him, and he goes. It doesn't kill him, but you have damaged him with the knife. So you can't gut him just yet.
Okay.
But you've laid the first assault into him.
Cool. And then he now has disadvantage on any skilled dexterity checks to break the grapple.
Okay. Perfect. I just want to see something. Okay, and as you go to do that, he goes, and he takes up one of his hands and he puts his paw, this cute little orange tabby cat paw, he puts it in your face.
Don't even, it's that cute.
All right, and then a rainbow shoots out from his hand into your eyeballs, and you've got this, like, everyone sees this large bright light of rainbow, just color spray shooting into your eyeballs. So let's see.
Right, he's Jubilee now.
5.
Everyone's favorite X-Man.
16,
Right.
30. Okay, how many hit points do you have?
38.
Okay. So you are affected by the spell.
Oh, wait, are we talking max or current?
You're now blinded.
Damn. Okay.
You are now blinded, so you can't see the blinded condition. Again, we talked about it, but I've got to look it up again. You're just, all you see is rainbows in your eyes, like, when you close your eyes and look at the sun, and it's all just bright and
Okay.
crazy. So you are now blinded, and then all of a sudden you feel the weight drop from your hand, and you close your fist as if nothing's in it.
Wow.
Okay.
So he didn't break your grapple, but whatever magic he has casted upon himself has blinked himself outside to a different plane of existence, and therefore he doesn't need to break a grapple to leave. And your hand is empty.
All right. Okay.
You have PTSD. I'm sorry. It is now your not now your turn. It's Diane Talis' turn.
All right. I will go ahead and move up a little bit just so I can get a better view of Pod. And let's fire 2 Eldritch Blasts at her. Eldritch Blast the first. Natural 20. Eldritch Blast the second is a 16 plus 8 to hit.
Yep, those sound like 2 hits to me.
Alrighty.
So you basically roll 3 rolls.
Yep. So let's see what that does. So the crit is going to be...
It feels like John's character can do like higher level riffs in Diablo than the other characters.
Yep.
Anyone else get that feeling?
Yep.
14 force damage and 6 necrotic for the first beam.
Sure.
The second beam is 8 force damage, 2 necrotic.
For a total of 30 points of damage.
Sure. That sounds right.
I think that's right. Alright, Streets of Lightning shoot out from the darkness again as our stealthy Diantalis fires them out at Pod. It burns Pod's flesh. These ones hit, and you see creases and cracks open up in her chest, and she's like, ah! As like flesh begins to bubble from the force of the shock tearing her skin asunder. Perfect. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn, Diantalis?
You know what? Yeah. Let's go ahead and move a little closer. Diantalis is feeling good. He's dealing some damage. So I've moved 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Where does that put him? We'll move one more just to be sure, and we will send out diplomacy to strike Pod as well.
Okay, perfect.
So that's going to be 20 not natural to hit.
All right. Roll the damage dice for diplomacy, please.
That is 6 piercing, 5 necrotic.
Okay, so perfect. That's the damage.
That's
all right.
The turn.
Bok. The Bok's on top of Pod at the moment, and he continues punching in her other eye. And he does so. He begins punching her eye as he grapples on top of his head and uses his claws to try and dig in. She's like, blinded and distracted, dealing with it. Now, Jolt is going to... Oop, that's the torch. Jolt circles around carefully until she can get line of sight on you, Hope. And she says, Now there. It'll all be over soon, child. And she moves to a place where she has line of sight on you. And this time she doesn't wait. She takes out both guns. Actually, she doesn't care about this chair. She doesn't see it. She takes out both of her guns and fires on you, Hope, as you're in the corner.
Okay.
Good lord.
And one of her guns jam. You hear a kick. Oh no, wait, these guns can't jam. They're impervious to jam. One of the shots just doesn't go off, and then she looks at it, then it goes off, and it shoots in the wrong direction. 6 plus 9. 15 is your...
16 is my armor class.
16. Okay. So one bullet actually hits your armor and just lands in the armor. But doesn't hit you. And then it falls, ding, like it has crushed into a little thing, and then you see it fall off.
So I can hear it fall, right?
Yeah, you hear it fall, and it's not in you.
Okay.
But she's still motioning. This time she has her guns out, and she's sort of letting off shots. So the barrage will just continue at this point. Nash, your turn.
All right. Well, I need to move, so I'm gonna move.
Mm-hmm.
Is Varel still double his size?
Yes.
He's still in chair.
You haven't taken any damage, as far as I remember.
And he's still in chair form, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's a human.
No, he's a lizard.
Oh, he's a lizard. Okay.
He changed back a long time ago. Yeah.
If I seem like I'm hesitant to kill Pod, it's because I am.
Mm-hmm.
So, now that we've got what's her name sitting over there. She's not sitting, but she's on that chair. She looks like, what was her name in that Laugh-In show where she'd sit in that giant rocking chair and pretend she was a kid? Anyway.
No. You can't see the chair. Only Varel sees the chair.
Oh, right, because it's sorry.
He's mentally affected.
I'm gonna fire another firebolt right at her.
Okay.
And to hit. Whoops. Will be 18. Ooh.
Okay.
That's and yeah, it is a hit. Okay, so in that case, 2d10, 14 damage.
Okay.
Fire damage.
14. Okay, let's see. All right, the firebolt, you shoot it out, and this one hits her square in the back, and this is a grievous hit. As it hits her in the back and knocks her forward, she falls a few steps, falls forward, loses her footing a little bit, but then gets back up, looks determined, still determinedly looking at you, ignoring the damage from behind. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Nash?
No, I'll stay there. I'm good.
Okay, perfect. As you shoot at the firebolt, Pod waves her hands up and then brings them close together at you in a stream of, how do I describe this, of like sort of yellowish green air shoots forth from her hands in all of your general direction. That's Nash, Stanley, and Varel.
Did she always have that ability? Just in tiny form?
She's a pixie. She had lots of abilities.
Underutilized the pixie.
What's that?
I said I've underutilized her when she was small and helping me.
All right, perfect. So, she sends them forth, and she should be able to see Stanley because Diantalis is standing close to Nash. She puts Diantalis to sleep. I don't believe there's a save on sleep.
I cannot be put to sleep magically.
Nice. So she attempts to put you to sleep, and then you resist sleeping completely. She goes, and she runs in your general direction, carrying Bok with her. She stampedes forward to you, and she brings both fists down to Hulk smash your head. This isn't a grapple. She has disadvantage due to blindness.
Yeah, due to Bok blindness.
Yeah.
BBB.
So she smashes. She attempts to smash down in both her hands. She misses, and she hits the area next to you, and yells out in frustration. She smashes, trying to hit you, and can't find you. All right. Hope, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm still
Now,
blinded.
what you see the figure from your perspective. You see the back of Pod as Pod smashing your companions in the background, but in the foreground, you see Jolt, who's just been hit in the back with a firebolt and is somewhat staggering and starting to limp. She moves with the guns in her hand, and she's cocking them to take another shot.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dash forward and throw myself into her and see if I can land on top of her.
Okay, for a grapple, you're attempting to restrain her. You want to jump on top of her. Okay, perfect. Let's do this.
Okay, so for this grapple, since I'm using my arm, do I increase the strength roll for that? Does that count?
No, the advantage you get on the arm is once you have them grappled, it's hard for them to get out. Okay. Unless they have magic. As we learned, it's quite easy. But
that's fair.
Non-magical beings will have a hard time with your grip.
Okay, so 6.
Well, that might be fine because I'm just looking for my modifier. You might still make it. There's no modifier. 4.
Nice. Yes. Nice.
You jump over to her. You crash into her. It's awkward, and she drops both of her guns. She drops one of her guns, not both of her guns.
Okay.
As you jump on top of her, pinning her to the ground, you have another attack action as part of your 2 attacks. Grappling will be the first attack.
I do. Okay. So, how much control do I have over what kind of grapple I have her in?
Well, normally, it's her movement is 0, and you have advantage against attacks for her. I believe.
Because I'm just wondering, can I describe where my knees are placed? Like, can I have her arms?
Yeah.
We're doing this
as an epic thing. So.
Okay, so I run, I dash at her, I jump on her, and I have her arms pinned with my legs, and I just start punching her face, just going to town. I know I only get 1 attack, so it starts with the...
Make an attack roll. Well, you're punching her, so your damage will just be 1 plus your strength modifier.
It's a 1. I just got back from being blinded, so that's the excuse.
Okay, so you go to grapple her. You start punching her face, and you whiff, leaving a wide opening for her to make an opportunity attack against you.
Okay.
And she takes that one gun that she has in her hand, she flicks a switch, and out of the handle of the revolver, a large knife shoots out, and she uses it to try and stab your neck. And I rolled a 20.
Oh!
And this one is vicious looking. All right, just getting that calculation together. Just give me a quick second. Where's my? Come on, y'all, help me here. Sheet +6. Okay. You take 26 points of damage as the knife cuts your throat, and you begin bleeding profusely from the neck. Does that put you into like a bloodied area? Just how many hit points do you have?
12. I'm at 12 hit points
perfect.
out of 52.
Yeah. All right, excellent. So it cuts you deeply in your throat. You ignore it, but blood just begins dripping down on top of her from you.
Does it kind of choke her a bit?
No.
Okay, I'm slowly leaning my neck over her face then.
Okay, perfect. Now we are a 20, Scott. Are we good to keep going? Do we have any appointments?
I'm going to a dinner, but there's no hard time on it, so you're good. Keep going.
Okay. All right. Perfect. That would be Hope's turn. It is now Varel's turn.
All right. Okay. It's attacking Diantalis right now. Pod.
Pod is attacking Diantalis, yes, with Bok attached to her face.
I really want to help Hope. In my view, she's being attacked by the chair. Has the chair moved? Has it pursued?
Nope, the chair is still there. Although, actually, pardon me, but she did take damage. I'm going to make sure. The Phantasmal Force is a concentration spell?
Yeah.
It is. The chair has disappeared from them. Sorry. I failed to update that when Pod took damage last. So the chair, you look over to the chair and you see that danger enter your mind, and then the chair just sort of vanishes. You watch as Hope gets stabbed in the neck.
Yeah, but she's in grapple, and I would assume that this is, while Jolt has not been honorable, Hope needs this victory. I am going to run over to Hope using my 4D movement and prepare my action because I assume Buttons is about to attack. So I will prepare a double Maw Storm attack on Buttons should he appear to attack Hope or myself. If Buttons appears in my range, I will attack him.
Perfect. Okay. Very good. You can ready that action. Okay.
I do.
Excellent. And it is Buttons' turn to appear, and Buttons appears behind Hope. As Hope is like face down, getting stabbed in the neck, but holding Jolt down, Buttons appears in midair in a jumping attack to land on top of Hope to do something. And Varel, you catch this. Having moved, you look for him. He appears to jumping behind Hope. It's a grapple that you're attempting.
No, it's a double slam with the.
Okay, you're gonna try and like it's almost like baseball. The ball
yeah,
like
bat as he's like jumping through the air.
All right, then make your 2 attacks.
And I curse the universal arcanum. Natural 20 with a reckless attack.
Okay, that's one attack roll. Yeah. Why don't you roll the damage for that? It might be all that's required.
Okay. 10, 18, 22 damage.
All right. As Buttons appears in midair, dagger aloft in the paw, and is floating through midair, your sword swing is true, and it slices through the air right where the cat's face is, and you slice Buttons clean into 2 salami slices. And they go, with the velocity going one way and the velocity of your sword going the other way, the 2 slices split into 2, and 2 pieces of cat fly in 2 different directions as his life is ended immediately. And piece of halved cat spine just sort of flicker around as the corpse hits the walls and splats into the meat on the ground. And you successfully kill Buttons.
Freaking thank Jesus Chrome.
Oh, there's totally a little anime like tear trail as I swung this.
Okay.
As I cursed the very school that my father figure was from.
Excellent. So you see a tear form in Varel's eye as he slices it. That's awesome. Diantalis, it's your turn. You're now pod is above you, giant Hulk pod smashing the ground around you. I'd say you're in extreme danger, but you always seem to be able to just get out of it without much fuss.
I'm going to send Diplomacy right into Pod's back as the first action.
Okay. Attack roll, please.
That's going to be a 19 to hit.
All right, make your damage.
That is going to be 11 piercing and 6 necrotic.
Okay. 11 piercing, 17. Okay. Was that a bonus action?
That was a bonus action, as a matter of fact.
So what else would you like to do?
Let's see here. I was kind of hoping that was going to just do her in. Well, we are too close for Eldritch Blast. So I will do Sword Burst, which requires a Dex 16 save from her. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that, because that'll hit Bok Bok as well. Shit. I'll use my action to disengage.
Nice.
And
Okay.
I will move...
There are no barrels there anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point.
My bad for putting barrels on the map.
Either way, I'll go ahead and move
I didn't
over
think
there.
like 5 of them were going to get thrown around.
Just to
They're
be aware.
giant barrels. They're giant barrels.
She's blinded anyway, so I'll just move. I'll move over there, and that'll be that.
All right. Bok Bok continues to keep Pod blinded with his assault on her eyes. Jolt, it's now her turn. So she's had at you with the knife, and since her success was true, she takes her other hand and tries to sock you in the jaw. It's a hit. It'll be 1 plus her strength modifier,
Which is 0.
Zero.
It is 0. Okay, so she does 1 point thanks to the punch. I really didn't think that one through, but it sounded cool because you guys are like
Right?
wrestling. And then she will attempt to stab you with the hilt of her gun again, which she does. It's a 23, so I can do that. Let me double check the amount of damage. So you take 10 points of damage.
Okay.
So again, she takes the knife, she punches you in the face, and the punch just served to distract you long enough as you're like, oh. And then she took the knife again, she rammed it between your ribs and just drive the knife into your ribs as she stabs you again from above. Now you're bleeding from three places, your nose, your neck, and your ribs, as blood just drips all over her. She's becoming covered in blood, and you're covered in blood, and she's on top of you. Nash, it is your turn.
All right. It's a bad scene. I'm tempted to do a thing that I don't know what the reaction is because it's my new spell and I want to dink around with it, but I'm nervous. So, Bo, here's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Let me just make sure I'm not stupid here.
Let's do things. Imagine you had 6 seconds to make this decision, or you lost your turn.
All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to cast Alter Self on myself.
Okay.
And I'm going to change my appearance.
Sure.
I have 3 options. I can either create natural weapons, become aquatic, or change my appearance. And I would like my appearance to be that of...
Wait, Alter Self?
Yeah, Alter Self.
Okay.
I'm going to turn... It's shape-shifting, a shape-changing spell. I'm going to change myself into the spitting image of Pod as she currently is. So I want to be Pod. Now, it's not going to give me extra strength or anything like that. It's not going to give me her hit points. It's just going to make me look exactly like her to her. To everyone. Actually, to everybody, I'll look like her.
So you can't appear as a creature of a different size than you.
Oh. Where are you seeing size?
So,
oh, I missed that.
You can just
Crap.
change appearance, right?
No, you're right.
You transform your appearance. You decide what you look like, including your height, sound of the voice, and change. It's not a dramatic change into something else. That would be like a polymorph.
Shit.
You can also appear as a creature of a different... You can't appear as a creature, and your basic shape stays the same. If you're bipedal, you can't use a spell to become quadrupedal, for instance. Yeah, so it's like it's more for subterfuge, the spell, than it is for like an outright... You're thinking of like polymorph, which she just cast, which should change you into something of your imagining. Yeah.
Dang it. Okay. I was really
you could
excited
change
about that.
yourself into a version of her that is your height. Like, you could change yourself to look like a bipedal winged thing.
That's close approximation to her, but smaller.
Yeah, because she's humanoid looking. You could look humanoid. I think you could change yourself to female as well, right?
I mean, what I'm doing here is purely trying to play a mind game on her that it's all up to you.
Yeah,
whether
you
I
can
succeed.
appear as a member of another race. So you can make yourself look like a pixie, even though you've never seen a pixie that's 6 to 7 feet tall. What are you trying to accomplish?
I'm trying to freak her out and make her think twice about. It's like when they get the Hulk to calm down.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it may be a terrible idea, and since you're in charge,
it sounds like you just need to hold your hand out and say some nice things to her, and
not blow a spell slot for it.
Sun's getting real low, Pod. Sun's going down.
Actually, as much as I hate just totally taking that idea, I would like to do that. I'd like to try to reason with her.
Okay.
And I'm going to reach my hand out and I'm going to say, Pod, listen to me. Look at me. Listen to me. It's Nash. This isn't you. They've done something to you. Calm down.
That sounds like persuasion to me.
Yes, it does to me as well. So I would like to now roll persuasion. Hold on 1 second. That's a +7 to 23.
Okay, so you begin walking towards her with your hand out, saying gentle things to her. And she stops smashing the area around where Diantalis was. She just looks with Bok Bok on her atop her head, as if she hears something.
Okay.
And then she goes, "Who?" And she looks at you, and your eyes connect with hers. And she stops there just staring at you, dumbfounded.
Okay, since this is a
All right,
turn...
anything else you can do with your turn?
Oh, well, I don't know. I guess not.
Okay,
I'll
then
just...
it is...
It's whoever else is next, I guess.
It is her turn.
Oh boy.
And on her turn, she's curious about what she's seeing. And so with your hand out there, she reaches out her hand and takes your hand. And you see her wings flutter. And that's her turn. Hope, it is your turn.
Oh, shoot. Sorry. I scared myself with a... let's see. An additional action. Okay, I was
keep
just
in mind,
trying
if you
to-
want to make any non-lethal attacks, you have to declare it before the attack.
Yeah, totally. So the question I came across right before we got to my turn was, if I take my action surge, do I get 2 extra attacks or just 1 extra attack?
Action surge is where you get another action on your turn.
Mm-hmm. And since I get 2 attacks per
Okay,
action...
so if you get 2 actions, that means if your attack action grants you extra attack, using that you get 4 attacks in a turn.
Okay, cool. So the knife is still in my side. Has she let it go at all, or is she holding on to it?
No, she stabbed you and pulled it out. It's not a stick it in and twist kind of situation. It's a wildly just trying to get you off of her by stabbing you and causing you pain. So she's already hit you 3 times.
Okay, so this is gonna look really messed up to her, I'm sure, because I'm just gonna give her a big, toothy, bloody grin as I'm looking down at her, bleeding all over her face, and I've got my Bowie knife, and I'm gonna go to stab the arm she's been stabbing me with to kind of break it a little bit. So that's the
Okay.
first attack, and I'll see how this goes. Let's see.
Is this non-lethal or lethal?
Non-lethal. This is just trying to get her arm limp so she can't stab me anymore.
Okay.
All right,
Make
and
your
this is
attack
going
roll.
to be
You
a
get
23.
I believe you get it with advantage.
Oh, cool. 23 is still the better one.
Oh, you should get it with advantage. Why does it say here grappling effect? That's a thing. I'm pretty sure you get advantage on these hits, though. 23. Okay. Roll your damage dice.
5 damage.
Okay. You stab her arm, and she drops the gun immediately. And she screams out in pain. "Ah!" And she looks at you and she just goes, "Just do it. Just end it."
Oh, no. Oh,
Just end it.
oh, no. No. And I'll start running the knife upward in her arm.
Okay.
Oof.
So this no longer requires your attack rolls, as you've brought her down to incapacity. Just keep in mind, if you torment her too much, she may die
That's fine.
at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you want to cut her arm in half?
Well, I'm just
Not sever lengthwise. I mean.
Yeah. So I guess we'll assume it's in by her elbow, and I'm just going to start dragging it upward toward her shoulder,
You do that. And
watching the pain in her face. And then I'm
the
going to
skin-
spend my
the
action
skin
surge.
peels
Oh, sorry.
away. It's like when you cut steak or something, it's in 2, and then blood just gushes out. There's a bunch of blood just gushes out all over her arm.
Okay, cool. So so that arm is pretty much incapacitated, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll pull the knife out, and I'll spend my action surge to just... listeners, might get a little dark, so turn it off if you can't handle it, okay? And just take the knife and just start carving into her face.
Okay. Are you carving her skin in order to mark it, or are you trying to cut the skin so that you can remove the skin from her face? What's the...
Not just deep gashes so she feels it before she bleeds out.
If you
I
put a
really
knife
want to
deep
hurt
into
her.
someone's face, you probably hit brain or something important. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay, and the
I
reason I
guess it
asked-
depends on how strong the stab is, right?
The reason I ask is because I think you want to communicate with her. I think, or not. I'm just,
just
putting
wanna-
that out there. That
Hope just wants to cause her pain.
that's why I'm asking if it's torment or if it's murder. Because the way you describe it sounds to
Okay.
me like it'll kill somebody. If you're sticking your knife into someone's head.
let's do more torment. So kind
Like,
of
if it's like
just
you
deep
know
enough
that
to cut the skin
that much
and
far
then drag
in.
it.
And,
Yeah,
okay,
it's not
I
going to
gotcha.
pierce the skull, but
All right, you start cutting her face and having fun with the knife in her face, sinking in, and she doesn't scream. Her eyes seem in the face of death, like she's staring, like a warrior going to Valhalla would, embracing it more so than embracing this fate more so than one of the squealing kind of people you might have met when you kill them. They squeal like pigs.
yeah.
And she's gritting her teeth, and she's like, "Urgh," and as you do that, she's grunting, you're grunting, and you're cutting her face up. Meanwhile, Pod is reaching out towards Nash, and they have each other's hand. I feel like this is a good place to leave it because there are actually no more assailants, with Buttons being dead, and with combat not necessarily being over, but with both enemies being incapacitated. However, there could be plenty of violence next week. I think we leave it there because we could go. We're over and it's time. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. This is a good. I have all kinds of resolutions in my head, and I don't know where this is going to go. So this is good. This is a good place.
So there'll be a lot of questions, I'm sure. But hey, guy who wrote the email in,
Yeah.
at the beginning, what did he ask? Wait. Oh, was there something that the party could have done all along to figure out what was going on?
Yeah.
They could have turned on the shortwave radio instead of
I
stabbing
know.
George in the neck. I tried to drop hints. That's our show. There will be dungeons.
But that was Diane Talis. He doesn't give a crap.
No, he doesn't give a shit.
Nah, he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't
He
care.
literally did like 5 billion damage today.
Yeah. Like he does.
That's what my job is.
Yeah.
You don't need to figure out puzzles when you can fire 15 Eldritch Blasts.
Yeah, there you go.
This
That's
is also true. It's painful. Well, there you go, everybody. That's There Will Be Dungeons for this week. Episode 49 in the bag. Lots more to come. Great episode today. Totally enjoyed it today. And more of this next week. We'll find out the fate of Pod and the rest of our crew next week on There Will Be Dungeons. Don't forget, we want your emails. ThereWillBeDungeons.com is the place to go. You can send your messages there. If you have thoughts and feelings online, you can put them on our Twitter account, which is over at ThereBeDungeons. You can find all of our contact details at ThereWillBeDungeons.com. That's going to do it for us, for me, for, I was going to say for Pod. I'm feeling real feelings for Pod at the moment. For me, for Bo, for Kyle, for Kristen, and for John. We'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. Oh.